You know what I love about not sponsoring a business? I could just be bluntly honest about when some product that might be either doing well or is just acting so much like an idiot. And I love my job, but lately, Via Jersey City is no different. So, what describes you when you have been taking via Jersey City lately? A, you're taken from one vehicle after another before you get picked up. B, you have to be picked up at a location that's much further than your house. C, the van is going way too far out of your way and you're going to be late for work if it goes in this particular direction. Or D, all of the above. Why do I know of this stuff? Because I hear it from passengers so much lately, and I'm gonna let y'all know. I hate it just as much as you do. Now, for everyone that has followed me on my trips on Instagram at DJ underscore projects, two underscores by the way. Yeah, I know that in the morning I leave Staten Island and I get to the lot to be able to fire up the van that I have for a particular day. And normally when I have the morning shift, I prefer to start up the van and drive to the terminal before 6 a.m. when the platform starts. Other drivers prefer to just come to the lot later on before 6 a.m. starts, but I prefer to go there because let me tell you, driving in and picking up the van and everything is much easier when you take care of it as early as possible. Now, one thing that I've often been asked from passengers is, can you remove certain passengers from being delisted so that way I could get to work on time? Trust me, I wish I can. Not because I don't like the passengers, even some that ask that and everything. Some are nice, others I want them to be out of my van as soon as possible. But I basically have no control over who gets in my van or not. So one thing that I've done lately is that when I look at the map ahead of time as I'm driving to some passengers, and if I know they're going to be taken completely out of their way, one thing I've done, and for you via drivers in Jersey City or wherever that's watching this, please keep this note in mind. One thing I try to do is call them ahead of time, let them know that they'll be taken out of their way to see if they could be able to book another van. Sometimes they do, other times they don't, and sometimes the traffic situation is not as bad, but at the same time, sometimes during the morning and evening commute, it could be a little hectic. And another thing that I do is in the background, I play some nice, relaxing music and everything from artists like Ikeson and Roa, which y'all have been hearing in my full-length videos as of lately. And these are the particular artists that I play music on in the background. And like, if you listen to some of their stuff on Spotify, SoundCloud, or whatever, it sounds really good. But to fully address the situation that's been going on with Via lately, now, already from the beginning, and I've taken this from the TED Talk that's from one of the co-founders of Via, which is available on your screen and in the description below, is that the way Via works is that they supposedly try to make every corner a bus stop. Well, there are some situations that are involved in that where, unfortunately, one thing that I wish that we drivers had is, how on ways where you can be able to let other people know how bad traffic is in the area? I wish we had that as drivers, so that way it can not only be easier for us to be able to drive you, dear people of Jersey City, from place to place, but also so that we can know where to turn and where not to turn, for instance, if there's hazards, road conditions, or wherever. Because I'm gonna let y'all know, there have been some cases where I was following the map supposedly, and without going into detail on YouTube, I basically nearly drove more than once drove up a one-way street in the opposite direction, and thankfully there was no oncoming traffic and I was able to turn the van around. You want to know the worst thing that's happened to me? Become a Patreon member and you'll be able to hear it. And that's really what I want to have for us, to be able to inform other drivers and everything that's going on with regards to road conditions, so that the map could be better augmented. Because I hate when I hear other passengers being discouraged from using a platform like Via. Is it the best service? Absolutely not. In fact, I could say this as one of the drivers when it says that we're trying to find the perfect vehicle. Granted, all of our vans and the 3 EVs we have drive really good, but the thing is, they're not always perfect. And one thing that I've also heard that's been recurring from passengers, and I've noticed lately, is there are some that have been discouraged from using Via, where some prefer to just take Uber or probably take their own car. And unfortunately, that's the thing that that should be avoided at all costs. And I get that Jersey City wanted to try this particular approach, which I don't mind, not just because I have a job, but because I consider microtransit as not much of a replacement to the regular bus or streetcar system, but more as an assistant to be able to help while they're trying to figure things out. Because really, the ones that should be taking care of things as properly as they should be and not making fun of them is New Jersey Transit. Once New Jersey Transit makes the bus routes better, and not just the bus themselves better, because like you can have the most ugly looking knobbies, which is in fact what they have now on the streets, still running instead of the Excelsiors. And if they could just change the bus routes to where they could be faster and more direct, ridership will increase. How do I know this? The same thing happened here on Staten Island with the express buses. Before COVID, ridership started to increase. So that's basically the thing that I want to see with regards to Via Jersey City, because and this needs to happen soon, and I don't know if it's happening in other places, other cities and counties that use Via. Comment below if you've taken Via in those other places, or is likely a driver partner you have noticed, because I've noticed that ridership has been down to a point where I could be at a terminal for a long time without having much pickups. And mind you, I also see the traffic starting to build up more and more. So that means more people than ever are being discouraged from using the platform, and that's what we want to avoid. And hopefully Via could be able to address this soon. What are your thoughts on this? Tell me in the comments.